Interesting speech, my dear. Our next presenter is a rising 8th grader at the Norwood School, here today to talk to us about being an athlete. Please welcome Jaden Bird. How many of you are athletes or like to play a sport? Well, if you know what this is to be an athlete, you know that athletes have to train hard. Athletes make great plays look easy, but in real life, it's not that easy. Everybody's heard of Michael Jordan, right? But almost no one has heard of JaVale McGee. The difference, one trains harder than the other. To be an athlete, you also need to have perfect practice. Anyone can practice, but when you have perfect practice, you can get better. You also need to learn from your mistakes. Just because you messed up doesn't mean you need to stop playing the sport that you love. You also have to be dedicated. Getting up at 5 o'clock in the morning to practice, or just running sprints when you have free time. If you don't like your sport, why play it? Get into your sport. Lastly, you need the gear. You don't want dirty shoes. You need Jordans and Elites. In conclusion, you need the best gear and the best practice to be the best athletes. Thank you.
So next up, we have a rising 8th grader at Kingsview Middle School, and he will be talking about the differences between cats and dogs. Please welcome our friend, Eddie.
Thank you all for having me here today. Dogs like to bite. Wait, most people have pets. Some like dogs and others like cats. Dogs like to bite and chew furniture, while cats like to scratch furniture. Cats can jump really high onto shelves. Dogs can also jump, but not as high as cats can. Dogs love to eat dog food, which has meat in it, and cats eat cat food, which has fish in it. Dogs bark and cats meow. They both do this for the same reason, to alert their owners of something. In conclusion, I would prefer a dog, but which pet would you choose? Thank you.
That was a very fascinating speech. Next, we have Hyro, a rising 8th grader at Kingsview Middle School, and his topic is about emperor penguins. Let's give him a round of applause.
Thank you for having me here today. I would like to talk to you about emperor penguins. Emperor penguins stand at 45 inches tall. They live on Antarctic ice and the frigid surrounding water, where wind chills can reach up to 76 degrees Fahrenheit. In order to conserve warmth, they huddle together. Females will lay a single egg and then promptly leave it behind with the males so that they can take a trip so they can feast on fish, squid, and krill. The males will keep the newly eggs warm, but they do not sit on them like most birds. They stand over them, covering it with feathered skin called a brood pouch. During 2 months of baby season, males will eat nothing, while the females are gorging themselves with food. Then the females will return with the filled bellies that they will regurgitate for their newly hatched chicks. Then the males take to sea in search of food for themselves. They will then come back to raise their little penguins. Thank you for having me here today. I think you should all buy a penguin.
Next up, we have Brian Sun, a rising 8th grader at Beltsville Academy, talking to us today about the computer game Minecraft. Let's give him a warm round of applause.
I'd like to thank everybody here for coming. Most of you play a computer game, but do you guys know about the game Minecraft? Minecraft is a sandbox game. A sandbox game is where you can do whatever you want. Minecraft was made by a Swedish man named Marcus Persson, aka Notch, in 2009. The first version of the game was a super flat world where all you could do was place and destroy a grass block. Then later they added the shape of a cube and added more items to the game. Next, the game was in beta. Beta meant that the game can be played and bought, but it's not fully functional. Later it was alpha, then it was fully released. There are 4 types of game modes. They are survival, creative, adventure mode, and hardcore. Survival mode is the normal mode where you can survive. Adventure mode is the same as survival, but you cannot break or place blocks. Creative is where you could do whatever you want. This is where the sandbox part of Minecraft comes to play. Next is hardcore. Hardcore is the same as survival, but harder, and you do not regenerate health, and when you die, the game automatically destroys itself. Pretty much deletes itself. There are 2 ways you can play Minecraft: single player and adventure mode. I mean multiplayer. In multiplayer, some of the most known game types for multiplayer is factions, skyblock, Hunger Games or survival games, block hunt, and prison. Minecraft costs $25.75. $25.75. That's pretty much the same as any Xbox game. Minecraft has sold over 10 million copies, and it is one of the most popular computer games in the world. I'd like to thank everybody for coming today.
So last up, we have one of our own beloved MCs, Jeffrey, a rising 8th grader at Roberto Clemente Middle School, and he'll be talking about a fascinating topic, problems in school. Please welcome Jeffrey.
Wow, what an honor. So, I know you are all perfect students in school, and you've never had a problem. But for those who've had, let me talk to you a little bit about problems in school. School is full of problems, and since we are forced to go to it, we should be able to fix them. Problem number 1, cell phones at lunch. Cell phones are a big part of our life now. I see you guys texting and chatting on that thing 24/7. So we should be able to use them at lunch. After all, I don't see a problem. What, kids are gonna throw their phones around? That won't happen. Also, phones will teach kids a little bit about responsibility and how to take care of their belongings. Problem number 2, too much homework. You have 7 or 8 classes every single day, which means you could be taking home 7 or 8 pages of homework every night. It really takes away time for more important things, such as playing video games. School is full of problems, but together we can all fix them. Let's hope school will be a better place for the years to come. Thank you.
Well, tonight, it's been a pleasure having you. Thank you all for coming.
Thank you all for being here.
And thank you for being such a great audience.
Thank you to all the young speakers and their magnificent speeches. We hope you learned a lot. Be careful on the way back to your cars. Have a safe drive home. Good night, everyone.